Welcome. Hello. Um, my name is Aaron David Spiegel with Game of Life training for the Game of Life on your drive at 5 live. So today, without further ado, I'm going to talk about forgiveness. Not really sure how it came up. Oh, I think I have a list. That's what it is. There's a little list of things that I can talk about sometime. And that's on there we go. That's on the list. So, um forgiveness I think is very important. The reason I want to talk about it is because it's not for the other person when you forgive, it's for you. And um there's, forgive and forget, and I don't know about that, but forgive, basically when you forgive somebody, you're essentially saying, okay, look, you're being yourself wrong. If you don't forgive them, you're pretty much saying you're being yourself wrong. Anytime you make a judgment, that's pretty much what you're doing. But when you forgive them, you're allowing them to be themselves, accepting that they are themselves. Even if they're a dumbass, it's okay. You're like, you're a dumbass. Doesn't mean you have to put yourself around them. Doesn't mean that you have to, um, go back there. You don't have to revisit them. But in your own mind, if you're holding on to a resentment, and you probably heard this before, but if you're holding on to a resentment, then you are essentially drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. You're like, that son of a, like resentment, when it rolls around in your head, that's chaos. It's not good for you. When you're thinking of a situation and you're imagining those things and you're feeling those feelings within your body, and that is not ease in your body, that's dis-ease, which means that you're going to create some sort of a lump, uh, or malformation within you, whatever it might be. It's going to affect you somehow, some way. Just that having that chaos there, you guys have to know this. If you know that your words and your imaginal acts and your feelings create what you're experiencing, then why would you want anything else but goodness or love or both or joy? Why would you want anything else to float around inside? It's not that you want it, it's just that you haven't learned to deal with it, or you haven't been taught how to deal with it, or you feel like some reason it's justified in your mind that I'm never going to forgive this person. But the problem is, and I'll say this with love, confidence, and sincerity, and experience and knowing, and not only in my own self, but in other people, that when you forgive somebody, you are freeing yourself. You're letting that go. I'm not saying it's easy, but it really does become easy once you realize, hey, this is not, I'm not forgiving them for them. I'm doing it for me. Like, I'm just going to let that go. I'm going to accept that they are them. I've done shit in my life that I'm not proud of. I'm not, I wouldn't want to ever revisit some of the stuff that I've done. And I'm sure that, you're the same way. And I forgive myself. So if you can forgive yourself and you can forgive others, you're right on the right path to, living in harmony and living in joy within your own spirit and experience. So forgiveness is for you, not them. You're walking around and you're, fighting with somebody, and they don't even know you're fighting with them. What's that doing to you, and what's that doing to your thoughts and your your body? Awareness, or your focus, is the most important thing that we have. And so when you understand that, you need to guard it. You have to guard it, and you have to direct it, and you have to um, point it in the direction of those things that make you happy. Focus only on what you want, right? Focus only on what you want. Do you want to feel like crap about somebody that did something to you yesterday, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. If you're holding on to something for 20 years, ah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. If you're holding on to something and you're not letting that go and you refuse to forgive, you probably, I mean, I would guess that you have cancer at this point. 20 years later of just sitting on that shit, let it go. It's real easy. You say, I forgive them. There's a passage, and I wanted to show this because I thought it was appropriate. And I've been referring to um ChatGPT a lot. And so this is the passage that I wanted to here. Let's go this way. Um, it says it says Matthew 6:14, 15. For if you forgive others their trespass, that's not even the one. It's not what I wanted. That's I mean, it's fine, but the one I really wanted was um damn. Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. That's I mean, that's essentially it, but I guess I'm not seeing it here. Well, anyway, forgive them, Father, and they know not what they do. This is like saying forgive them again and again and again and again. Was I out there? Was I in the right place anyway? And it says that God will forgive you if you forgive other people, but there it is, right here. Luke 23:34. And Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And what's awesome about that is once you get that, once you understand that you've been a dumbass, I've been a dumbass, we've been a dumbass, and we've done shit that we're not proud of. And, you know, we're not perfect. They're not perfect. So forgive them. They know not what they do. Just like you didn't know what you were doing at the time, or maybe you did, and maybe you just did it anyway. But that's not you, true to you in your heart. I can guarantee it. Nobody's really like that. I do believe that all 99% of people are good within their being. I believe that wholeheartedly. I can see the good in people. And I know that I'm no better than them and they're no better than me, but they may be misguided, or maybe I'm still misguided, but some of these things I've experienced and I've learned, and I feel like it's my position now or responsibility now to pass that along to other people. So, and to remind people, because even if from day to day we forget, and I'll do a whole thing on that too, but tomorrow you're going to forget this little thing today, and so we have to remind ourselves every day. It's a chance to, each day we are born again based on the words that we use for that day. We don't have to use the same words that we used yesterday. We don't have to think the same things. We have the alternative choice. I mean, you can really apply that to any moment of the day, any time of the day. You have the opportunity to switch and say, I am no longer going to do this or feel this way about this situation. I'm going to switch that right here, right now. But guess what? You got to decide on that. And a lot of times you do decide on it. That's fine. But tomorrow, if you haven't kind of set yourself up for success in some kind of way and remind yourself, you may forget that, unless it's just so embedded in your beingness because you're so passionate about it at the time that it's just going to carry over. But the fact of the matter is, we need to be reminded from day to day, whatever it is that we were thinking yesterday, or else we're just living in a hypnosis of being. And if we're living in a hypnosis of being based on what we've been taught by this world and the ignorance of the, you know, caretakers around us at times, they don't know, they didn't know. So how are we supposed to know? How were we supposed to know? Except we have to seek. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. I apologize, but it's like you can't count on the world Yeah, the hypnosis of the world. You have to like break that hypnosis and do it for yourself. Do your own hypnosis. And how do you do that? You have to think about what it is that you want first, okay? I think I'm getting a little off subject because, well, not really though, because what do you want? Do you want to feel like crap? Do you want to feel joyous? Do you want happiness in your life? Do you want, do you want to be healthy? Do you want to be free? Do you want, most people want these things. And I'll say what I can observe within the people of the world at this time is everybody's kind of jacked up and crazy. So you're probably one of them. And so this is probably for you. You're probably holding on to something to somebody that you need to hear this. Forgive them. It's not helping you to not forgive them. Forgive them. Forgive yourself. You've been a dumbass. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, those guys in the back. We don't want that. Anyway, forgive them. Forgive yourself. If you can forgive yourself, you're golden. It's okay that you're you. And that's what I'm saying. You're being yourself wrong. You can't be yourself wrong, but you can not be happy with the version of yourself that you've been, and you can change it if you want, or you can be happy with the version of this yourself that you've been and still change it and become a better version. Step up one little bit at a time. How do you do it? One little bit at a time, one step, one decision. Make a decision. Say, right now I'm going to think positive things in my mind. I'm going to let that stuff go. I'll tell you what, get rid of social media, get rid of watching the news, get rid of TV in general. TV is probably the lowest of the low. The internet is next. TikTok, I don't know. You can learn some stuff on there, and that's great. And you can also be sucked into a world that is conditioned or set up to condition you for limitation and lack. The only limitation and lack that we have, we put upon ourselves. So, you have to think outside the box. And forgiveness sets you up. It sets you free to, you know, become that person that you want to be or a better version of yourself. And I say, regardless of what somebody did to you, if they killed your mom, and I'm not making that a light statement, but I'm saying for you to hold on to that puts a pit of disease in your heart. So, there are stages to what I would say are enlightenment, and that would be, a stepping stone or a stage up from, not doing it. Um, so if you can, just kind of go inside right now, figure out the situation, whatever happened to you, and then, you know, see that that person was just jacked up. They were whacked out, and they still might be. But you don't have to put yourself around them anymore. You can separate yourself. If you're in a situation where you can't separate yourself, try to get away from that. But forgive them. Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. If you know what you're doing, you're never going to harm anybody. So if you're not there, you have some ways to go. And I'm sure I still have some ways to go. I've seen people that will not harm a bug. That's not my thing. I'll, especially mosquitoes. If you know me, you know how I feel about mosquitoes. Excuse me. I will not forgive a mosquito. They will perish. They will move along. I'll help them move along. I don't feel that they have the right to suck off my blood. But still, I forgive them for being what they are, but it doesn't mean I'm going to accept it. And it doesn't mean I'm not going to smash them down. But you don't do that with people. But I don't know. Everything works out as it should. I have all kinds of supporting beliefs. So, excuse me. The purpose of this life is joy, is what I'll say. The purpose of this life is joy. And that came from, um, what is it? Is it Abraham? Abraham Hicks. The purpose of this life is joy. I heard that some years ago, and I really clung on to that. I thought, really, I mean, what else would you want out of this life? And joy is like, fulfillment. It's not just like happiness. It's like you're really happy inside about what's going on, and joy, I don't think you're going to experience joy, complete joy, if you're not happy with yourself. So you have to become happy with yourself. And if you're not happy with yourself, you can forgive yourself, and then you can move in a direction that's going to make you happier with yourself, because that's, you're your only judge. Other people, if they judge you, or if they, have any bearing on how you feel about yourself, you have the power to stop that for sure, because it really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. You, if you're giving them an opinion about you and thinking, whatever, they're no better, they're no worse. That's all you got to know. And forgive them for being who they are. But don't give your power away, because you're the only one that can, feel a certain kind of way. Like, I use the example of, if I told you that you don't love your kid, you probably shouldn't get mad about it. If you do get mad about it, then you're kind of an idiot. But if you do get mad about it, you're giving me power. And if it's not true at all, then why would it even matter what I think anyway? So if I say you don't love your kid, you'd be like, okay, that's how I would feel about it. I just say, okay, all right, well, obviously you don't know me, because if you knew me, you would know that I love my kids. That's it. So go away. I forgive you for being a dumbass. That's pretty much what it is. Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. I forgive you for being a dumbass, because I've been a dumbass before, and I'm sure I'll be a dumbass again. So I try not to these days. Anyway, if you are liking the content, please share it with somebody that could benefit. Look back again, because I'll be here for your Drive at 5 live at this point every day. And hit the like, subscribe, follow, share, all that stuff, tough guy. Because yeah, it's good information that I know people can benefit from. So pass it along. And thanks for watching. Come visit again. Make your best day ever.